Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Uh, Today I want to talk to you about something, and I hope it doesn't offend you, but I know egg prices right now are insane, and I know that there's farmers and stuff out here that would probably be more than happy to sell you eggs, and usually cheaper than what they are in the store. Well, I have a lot of people requesting me to hatch them baby chickens. And I try to tell them all, you know, I know, let's say eggs are $6 a dozen. By the time you get hatchlings, feed them, start and grow, take care of them you got to have a brooder, you got to have heat for them. There's a big process to hatching and raising baby chickens. Uh, I've went over it on some of my other videos, and I will go over them again. I've got 29 in here in the incubator. They're for me. They're my early chickens, as I call them. And I know that they're going to be right here in my living room. I do live alone, so nobody's going to fuss about them. Nobody's going to complain about how they smell, but they do not smell pleasant. Trust me. Ask anybody that's raised baby chickens. If you got to keep that thing cleaned daily, or it stinks. It stinks bad. I usually keep them in one tote, then swap them over to another. So every day they're into a clean tote. Uh, Time you buy, a bag of start and grow is about $15. Depending on how many chickens you got, that's, maybe a month or two. And by the time you get them, where they're big enough to go out of the house, fully feathered and stuff, it's a lot of time consideration, and it's a lot of you want to pet your diddles, and not overhandle them and stuff, but let them know not to be afraid of you. Okay, then you get them outside, and people don't realize from the day a chicken hatches, it can be 6 to 8 months before you see the first egg. And you got to figure on, you got to buy the feed, you got to feed them, you got to water them, you got to tend to them, you got to build a chicken pen. They need a hen house with boxes where they can get in and lay. They've got to have a place to get in and roost and stuff like that. And they need a pen that's for their safety where animals can't get to them. Now, you can free range your chickens, but when you put them in that chicken house, I would still have a small pen where, when they go out at night or during the day and pick and stuff like that, they go back to that roost every night. So when you do start free range them after a month and maybe that, you can let them get out and pick and stuff. But they're going to tire into your garden beds. They do everything that you don't want them to, I promise. And, by the time you take, and let's say you need 6 hens to feed your egg, 6 hens should probably use 4 eggs a day. Figure 2 eggs per 3 chickens is about what I get every day. And, you got to figure how many eggs a day do you need, and, what's the cost to have those chickens in feed. You got to have oyster shell, you got to have grit, and all this for your chickens. You got to keep them, their nest boxes clean. You got to keep their chicken house clean and everything like that. Plus, that there's a big expense to this. It's not cheap. Plus, there's a commitment to those animals when you decide to raise them. You take it on and say, I will be responsible for them. I get in the middle of the night. My dog, I got 2 dogs out here. I got a pup. I just showed her to you today. But baby girl, my little squirrel dog, she won't tolerate nothing being on property that ain't supposed to be here. She lets the cats be here. There ain't a problem with that. She'll chase a rabbit down the hill a little ways. Anything gets near my chickens, my turkeys, or my rabbits and stuff, she's out there on the job. She's going to put it out of here. Okay, I get up when I hear that night. When she goes to barking and stuff, trust me, you get up, put your britches on and stuff, and you take, whatever you want to out there to protect your animals. Okay, it's a day and a night commitment. It's day and night time. It's nothing feels better though when you get into that, 7th month, 6th, 7th month, and you start getting eggs. But when you start figuring, and you can ask anybody, it's just not me telling you this. Time you figure out what it costs you to keep those chickens, you'd been better off buying eggs. I know this seems outrageous, and let's now like with me, I raise enough chickens every year. I put about 75 in the freezer, and I eat eggs. I give eggs away. I hatch chickens and give them to people. My neighbor come up today and got eggs, and he's wanting to get his own chickens, and I explained to him about the same thing, and I told him, I said, well, let me come and help you build a pen so everything ain't killing your chickens every time you turn around. I said, I'll come out and help you build your pen. I'll help you get you some chickens, get you started. And, when you're ready for that stage, let me know. And he was talking about he'd like to raise his own chickens to eat and stuff. And I told him, I said, well, I'll help you with that. But I also told him, and I tell everybody, if you come up here and get baby chickens off me and you decide that it's just too much, it's too much aggravation, you're tired of fooling with them and not getting no eggs, because we live in a world now of instant gratification. We spend a dime, we want $1. Now. Got to have it now. And that ain't how it works with chickens and animals on the farm. So the reason I'm doing this video is if you're looking to get baby chickens and you're looking for instant gratification, just know you may have to wait 6 or more months, just depending on the breeds. Okay. Do your research on breeds. Okay. I've had everything from Turkins to every kind of Comet, every kind of buffs. I've had them all. Okay. At certain phases in my chicken production, I tried different breeds to see if they could get what I wanted. I run, let's see, 2 years ago, I was doing the Brahmas and the Black Giant crosses. And they done some major meat chickens. But man, my egg production fell off to, I think they're doing about 100 eggs a year. And that was a little lower than I wanted them. I kept my Black Giants because I really like that breed, and they're my chickens are real gentle. And, I just like that breed of chickens because they grow nice and they make big meat chickens and they do good egg production. Well, I got to seeing the American Breezy or Breeze or the breast chickens, whatever you want to call them. And I got lucky and found some of them. Okay, I'm doing purebreds of them because they're still considered a rare chicken. I'm going to do some purebreds on them, but I'm going to cross them over to the rooster over to some of my Black Giant hens. And then, of course, I'll keep Black Giant hens with my Black Giant rooster. And I think I have 11 of the white hens, the breezy chickens. I'm going to put 2 or 3 over here with my Black Giant rooster and see how those work out. But, if you're not doing, and like it's going to cost me to raise these chickens. And I've raised the little broiler chickens and, the little fast growing chicken stuff. They're just not for me. I don't like them because any chicken, you got to feed these. Okay, if you take those chickens and feed them that feed that, don't feed them the feed that they recommend, that high protein, whatever feed, those chickens don't grow right. Okay, so you're in a catch-22 there. You got to buy those chickens, their feed and all, to get them to grow like they're supposed to. And I'm not convinced that they're not sending you growth hormones and steroids out the butt to push those chickens. Well, if you're doing that, you might as well go to the store and buy the chickens that's in the store, because that's what we're trying to get away from. That's why I'm still in the heritage chickens. I'm growing heritage chickens now. And I had the yeah, the ones that always lays the real dark eggs, the Morons last year, because I like to color the eggs, and I thought I would try to put that deeper color in my eggs. Well, it didn't take me long to figure out I didn't like that breed at all, because These poor chickens out here, you could have killed them and never had 10 feathers pluck off a chicken. I don't know what is up with them chickens, but they wanted to eat the feathers off another chicken, and they was aggressive as they can be, and I don't like that. Do your research if you're going to grow chickens, and understand there's a lot to it besides chucking them outside and good luck because you're going to lose your chickens. And I've had people come back to me where I give them chickens. They'll come back, every one of them chickens died you give me. What happened? I said, well, did you have them in a warm place? Did you give them start and grow? Did you, keep them in water? Did you keep their little pen clean? Stuff like that. I took them outside and put them in a pen, them 3 days old. They just stuck them outside and thought, ooh, they're going to grow, but that ain't how it works. And I told them, you didn't do what I said, and that's why you lost your chickens. And they're mad. They want me to give them more. Well, I told them, I said, well, you ain't showed me that you can take care of the first ones. So I sure ain't going to give you no more. I said, go and buy some. Then it'll teach you to do it right. But I know a lot of people looking for baby chickens, and I've got about 300, people want about 300 chickens. And I will hatch them. And, the ones I think that really are committed to it, I'll see to it that they get their chickens. And I'm the type of fella, if you ask me, hey, old mountain man, can you come and help me design this pen so, they're not getting my chickens? I'll come and help you design your pen unless you're way, way off and I can't get to you. But I would even go on Facebook, talk to you on Messenger. I've got a Messenger page, a Facebook page. It's the same thing, Mountain Man Common Sense. I'd be happy to get on Messenger there and talk to you and help you discuss the pen and how I've got mine. I've got a video on how I got mine. And so far it's worked out real well. But just think about, the commitment to the chickens because, it ain't fair to get a bunch of chickens and not take care of them and expect them to give you eggs and stuff like that. It's costly. Don't think it's not. Myself, I've got about 24, 26 chickens out here. And I'm spending, I'm buying 10 bags of feed, about $160 a month. And I showed you my feed in that one video back on the chickens I selected and why. Okay, it's got everything in it, and that's what I want my chickens to have. Plus, they get grit and they get oyster shell, everything else. And then I got to put pine shavings down in their house, and I use the pine shavings in the nesting boxes too, just because I don't want to have straw, pine, and everything. So I just buy them. It's bed shavings, like for dogs and stuff. I put that in there. I fill their nest up, then I just kick it around and let the chickens poop in it. And then I use that on my garden. You need to figure out, are you going to be one of these people that cleans your pen out every month? Or are you going to do the deep bed method like I do, which is you take and put the pine shavings down, let the chickens poop through them. They get compacted. You put more down. And then during the summer, I go in the fall and in the spring, and I rake all that up, and then I put it on my garden and my plants and stuff. Put forth a game plan. And I tell everybody gets chickens from me, and I think most breeders would feel this way. If you get to the point that you don't want to bother with the chickens anymore, they would take them back before they would rather you do something bad or, whatever. I tell everybody, if you decide at some point in time you don't want your chickens, bring them back. And sometimes I'll give them part of their money. I'll give them a couple dollars for each chicken because I know they got feed involved and stuff, and that they stepped in over their head. It wasn't nothing they done on purpose. As long as the chickens are healthy, I take and quarantine them. Keep them out of my chickens for so long, and then I'll incorporate them back into my chickens, and go from there. But I know right now we're in a pretty rough spot on these eggs. And I know a lot of people's thinking, I'm going to get me about a dozen chickens. Well, that's great. If that's what you really want to do is get you about a dozen chickens. You'll never need eggs again. You know what I'm saying? You should never need eggs again. If you remember now, also remember, I know everybody thinks chickens are pets, and they can be. But the first 2 years of a hen's life, she lays, really good, about an egg a day, to about whatever her number is. If you look it up in the breed, says about 180 eggs. She'll lay you about 180 eggs for 2 years. Her third year of life, she starts dropping off. Fourth year of life, she drops off more. And around the fifth to sixth year, which I've got one little hen out here, she'd make a liar out of me. I know she's between 8 and 10 year old. She's a little old East Dragger hen, and I really like her. And she sets. That's one reason I keep her. But she raises off a batch of diddles every year, and she's got to be 8 to 10 year old. And I'm telling you, she has to lay every day that she's not set. And she's a real good mama, and that's one reason I keep her. There's several of my hens now. That's something else. See, I want hens that'll set, because you can call me a prepper, farmer, a homesteader, whatever. Titles don't mean nothing to me. I'm just no mountain man out here trying to live. But if, let's say, the grid goes down or the economy goes bust, or those 10,000 scenarios everybody runs into, I know that these hens will set. So many of them, I think there's about 8 of them, sets. Well, I can take and put them to clutch eggs together. She's going to raise me a batch of chickens, and I'll have several chickens that I can save for next year. And I'll be honest, I butcher a lot of 3 to 4 year old hens. When that egg production starts slowing down, it's not worth it to keep them in my pen. And if you're the type of person that you can't kill your own critters, uh, at some point in time, you may have to, or you may have to, get somebody else to. But my point is, do your research and find out what kind of chickens you want. Do you want a meat chicken? Do you want an egg chicken? Do you want a flighty chicken? Do you want a chicken that can't fly too high? What breed do you want? And there is several good egg layers out there. The Comets, the Leghorns, they've got all these chickens that, man, they'll lay you eggs. Rhode Island Reds, I used to keep those, but I found the roosters very, very aggressive. And if the hens do set, man, I'm telling you right now, you better not get within 2 or 3 feet of her diddles, or she'll swarm you. Well, see, last year, when these out here raised their diddles, I could go out there and pick them up, kind of look about the eggs, and pet the hens and stuff. And they didn't care. They protested it, but they didn't peck me. They didn't try to hurt me. They didn't try to fly at my face or nothing else. And when it come time to let them and their diddles go into a cage to let them raise their diddles, they wasn't acting stupid. They wasn't trying to fight me or nothing. I just easily picked the hen up. I put her diddles in a basket, move her out to the pen, turn her loose. Everything was good. I even had her little nest in there, and I put her diddles and her back in the nest so she could bring them out and feed them and stuff. I really like these 2 breeds of chickens because they are a gentle chicken and they do what I want them to do. Now, understand, you're going to have to build a pen. It's not cheap to build a pen. It's not cheap to buy a wire and to make the run. And if you do it correctly, it's going to take more wire than you think. And then you need to, in my opinion, okay, I've got a 4-strand electric fence around my chickens. So when coons and stuff come in, they hit that fence and it repels them. And so far, it's worked. But, over time, I've improved, and I've, learned from people on YouTube, some of this stuff. If this ain't something old mountain man come up with, I've had possums and coons and stuff dig into my chickens, and I've seen a video on how to stop that, and I stopped it. Or, I done the best preventive method I could. And, give it some thought. I'm not saying don't get chickens. I'm saying do your research, do your homework, I understand it's a commitment of about 6 to 7, sometimes even 8 months before you get your first eggs. Uh, if you're looking for instant gratification, it's not going to be here. And if you think I'm going to get me some chickens and I'm going to sell eggs and I'm going to make money, I promise you, you'll be lucky to break even. Time you get cartons, you get, you feed your chickens and you take good care of your chickens and your eggs start producing, you'll be lucky to break even on your eggs. But you know, it's up to you what you do, but just give it an honest thought before you just jump into something. And think, can I feed however many chickens you're wanting to keep for the amount of eggs? If you went to the store, it would cost you to just go ahead and buy the eggs. I know that there was somebody tell me eggs $8 a dozen. Well, that to me is this thing. But let's say your family uses uh 24 to, let's go all out. Let's say you use 4 dozen eggs a month. Well, 4/8 is 32. That'd be $32 a month. I promise you, you can't feed chickens and take care of them the way they're supposed to and come out on $32 a month. Ask anybody on here, they'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you the same thing if they tell you the truth. I know a lot of breeders, so will go, oh man, you need these chickens. Here, $5 a piece, here's some diddles. Okay, I don't do it for the money. And you can ask a lot of people. I give so many little chickens away to help people that, I give a lot more away than I've ever sold. And I do it to help people and give them a start, because I remember when I started, and man, just to go out and pay, you go out to auction, you pay $25, $30 for a hen, and then you give $10 or $15 for a rooster. I come home and I had about $350 in chickens. And at that time, I didn't know how to raise little chickens. Well, when I got started buying incubators, time you buy an incubator and you do all that stuff, you buy a built brooder, and you got to keep heat in them and everything else. You'll see that light bill go when you're putting on that heater and stuff. Well, it costs money. I hope this helps you make a decision on this in some way. I'm not telling you not to get chickens, because I couldn't imagine my farm without chickens. I love my chickens. I love fooding my chickens. I love getting their eggs. I love farm fresh eggs. But that's just like pigs. A lot of people don't like raising pigs. I enjoy my pigs. I enjoy going down there and messing with them and, feeding them and stuff. But of course, when fall time comes, I bring them up and put them in the smokehouse. Or, they are food to me. But I give them, any animal, the best life I can give it before that time comes. And, you know, if you got questions, or, you got a comment, maybe you see something I don't, that I didn't say that I should, you can feed stuff like bread, your scraps to your chickens and all that. That goes a long ways too. When you're preparing food, keep a little bowl like I do, put your scraps in it. Well, I keep all my eggshells and I crush them up when they dry, put them in there, and then when I go out to feed the chickens, I give them that plus feed. And you'll notice they'll run right on top of that feed to get the scraps. There is cheaper ways, and but you need to make sure that you're ready for that commitment. I guess what I'm trying to say. I just don't want a bunch of people to get chickens and then regret their decision and decide that raising chickens are bad. But just give it some thought. I hope it helps. I hope y'all like and share the video. I haven't been able to get on much. I'm gonna try to do a couple videos, at least once or twice a week. Now that we're getting through, winter's about over. My bag's finally eased up and let me, try to live again. I know this summer I'm putting in a dairy. I'm gonna box in the porch I have and turn it into a pantry. I'm gonna add a closet onto my bedroom, and we're gonna be building a smokehouse out of block and stuff so we can smoke meat. Uh, I got a neighbor I got to talk to about building me what I'm gonna call a scalding table, where you can dip the hog in the water, pick it up, bring it over here on the table. It's got holes in it where you can scrape the hog and have it at a height where it don't break my back and I'm not down on my hands and knees trying to scrape or skin a hog. There's a lot of content still to come. You're going to see me plant my garden. We're getting ready to build a greenhouse over here in the weather breaks, and I'm going to put up a greenhouse. And I'm going to show you an irrigation system I'm going to put in for my plants because we've had, a couple droughts. And I'm going to fix it to where I can take it apart real easy, take it out of the garden, let it out of the way. Then when you plow, disc, dig, and all that for the garden, it's not in your way to do it. There's some greenhouses I'm gonna put up. I'm gonna try to get at least 2 up this summer. If I can do it, I'm gonna put grow boxes in them so I can grow crops. Don't give up on me, people. It's just my back started giving me real bad fits, and we've had snow, and I'd slip or something. I've sneezed and thrown my back out. I do have bad back. I'm trying to make content as much as I can. I done the gun cleaning videos and stuff, and YouTube demonetized them, which I don't care. And then while I'm doing it, the ladies that edit these videos, bless their hearts. A lot of these videos now I get off without a hitch, and we don't have to edit nothing. But there's other ones that we do. They're the ones that receives all that money. It's got nothing to do with me. I told you from the start, I ain't in this for the money. But please stick with me, share the videos. Let's try to build this together and help people understand what's going on out here. And I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. Y'all have a good day. Have a blessed day. Be good to each other, and we'll see you on the next video.